One thing that we want to work on is elongation or stretching. Most people, like I said earlier, the stretching techniques that we use are too forceful. So if I wanted to open up my arm, then I could simply, if I was sitting in a chair, I could rest my arm on another chair or the back of a seat or even the table. I could sit here. If you rest it in a position where I feel some tension, and then I'm going to engage the tissue by taking my head away and feeling and turning my hand. As I turn my hand, as I turn my head, that takes out the slack in this three-dimensional web, and I can fine-tune it, I call it, to where do I feel I need the stretch. If I'm having pain back here, I may want to turn it forward until I feel some tension there, and I can turn my head and bend down or go back and change that until I feel tension right in the area where I'd like it to be released. Now again, tension, but I don't want to be forcing to where my body is fighting back. You just want a very comfortable tension that as you hold it, then you feel it giving a little bit. So you can do this with your arm. You can do the same thing, you know, like if I'm just trying to do my neck, I can actually use my hand to hold down here if I want to stretch right between here. And I can just lean away until I feel some tension here. And it should feel like, after you hold this, it should feel like you have things releasing and giving. There should feel that giving. And it's the same thing if I want to do with my legs. You know, any kind of stretch you do, there's a lot of people that have been taught how to lay on their back and have their knees go side to side. Well, everything you do, if you have stretches that you know feel good, just add this component of, instead of being forceful, taking out the slack, and then the time component, 3, 4, 5 minutes. That's why you want to be in a position that's comfortable. And if I'm holding my arm actively, then that's going to get tiring, and if I'm actively engaging the muscles, they're not going to give as well. Where if I can rest them and do this to where I can do it for a longer period of time and everything is relaxed, I will get much better of a result. So anything you can do laying down to do the stretch obviously is going to be more comfortable. But even if you're sitting in a chair, I could cross my leg and add some tension here to help open up the side of my leg. So you can do things laying down, you can do things when you're sitting. If I'm sitting here and I just take out the slack to mean I'm kind of pushing down a little and pulling away. Again, I'm not forcing it, I'm not going to get it to the point where I feel it locking down or bracing, but I can kind of take out the slack here and just lengthen that way and help relieve some of the pressure in my hip and stuff. And this is great, you know, when you're on long journeys, especially if you're in airplanes or things like that. But it is just a playing around, you know, when you're laying down, you can twist your body, you can get it supported in a place where it feels lengthened, and then just letting it open up, and it should feel pretty good.